Right now, without even trying, your brain is measuring you against someone else. Maybe it was the person who got the promotion you wanted. Maybe it was a stranger on your phone, living a life that looked better than yours. You noticed. You compared. And then you felt that quiet ache. That feeling is not a flaw. It is one of the oldest survival mechanisms your species ever developed, and it has been running in your brain without your permission for at least 2 million years. The comparison is not the problem. The comparison is the point. Your brain compares because comparison was once the difference between life and death. In the world your ancestors lived in, knowing where you stood in the group was not vanity, it was survival. Lower in the hierarchy meant less food, more risk, fewer chances to pass on your genes. The individuals who tracked their social standing obsessively were the ones who adapted fastest. Their DNA eventually became you. You cannot stop watching where you stand because the ones who stopped watching did not survive. Researcher Leon Festinger named this process in 1954. He called it social comparison theory. His insight was simple. Human beings have a drive to evaluate themselves by comparing to other people. There is no off switch. The drive is baked into how you process the world. But Festinger noticed something else. You do not compare randomly. Your brain targets people who are similar to you. Not the world's greatest athlete, but the person running the same trail you run. Not a billionaire, but the colleague who got promoted a year before you. This selectivity is calibration. The brain seeks the most information-rich comparisons, the ones that actually tell you something useful about where you stand. Here is where it gets darker. When you compare upward, when you look at someone who has more, your brain registers a threat. The amygdala fires in roughly the same pattern it fires during physical danger. Your stress hormones spike. Your mood drops. Researcher Ethan Kross at the University of Michigan found that passive social media scrolling reliably increases envy and decreases life satisfaction. Every scroll is an unbroken series of upward comparisons, curated by algorithms designed to maximize the ones that produce the strongest emotional response in you, and yet you keep scrolling. The same system that makes comparison painful also makes it magnetic. Knowing where you stand matters so much to the social brain that it will tolerate discomfort to get that information. Upward comparison is only half the story, though. Your brain also compares downward. When your confidence dips, you instinctively scan for someone struggling more than you. Psychologist Thomas Wills found that people under stress seek out comparisons with others who are worse off, and that these comparisons provide genuine short-term relief. It is why gossip feels satisfying. The brain is not being petty, it is trying to stabilize you the only way it knows how. For most of human history, your comparison pool was small, your tribe, a few dozen people. Your brain evolved for that scale, a world where the hierarchy was visible and stable, and you could find your place and hold it. Now your brain receives comparison data from thousands of strangers every day. It has not adapted. The ancient circuits built to process your tribe are now processing an endless stream of people, each representing a dimension on which you might be measured. Career, appearance, relationships, wealth. Your brain runs these calculations constantly, in the background, while you try to eat breakfast or fall asleep, or simply exist in a quiet room. So, when you feel that ache, when someone else's life triggers something in you, recognize it for what it is. Not a verdict on your worth. Not proof you are failing. It is an ancient signal, firing in a brain built for a world that no longer exists. Naming it helps. Studies show that labeling a negative emotion reduces its charge. Saying to yourself, "I am doing a social comparison right now," pulls it out of the automatic system and into the conscious one, where you have agency. And one more thing. The only comparison the evidence links to growth without triggering the threat response is comparing yourself to who you were, your past self. 6 months ago, a year ago. No algorithm shows you that data, but your brain is fully capable of using it if you give it the right signal. So tonight, when you feel that quiet ache, when someone else's life makes yours feel smaller, remember this: you are not broken. You are running 2 million-year-old software in a world it was never designed to navigate. And that feeling you have carried your whole life without understanding why, it is not a flaw. It is proof of how perfectly your ancestors survived.